Hey, this is Dan Bunker with CodeCram, and this quick code tutorial will cover how to loop through the characters in a Java string. This can be a common task when working with strings and is often used when you need to look for a specific character in a string, such as a number or maybe a special character. There are two methods on the string class that will help you loop through each character, the charAt and the toCharArray methods. Let's go ahead and take a look at how to use each of them. To get started, I'm going to create a new class to hold the looping tests. So I'm just going to create a new class. I'm going to call it string loop. I want to give it a static void main method so we can test it. I'll click finish. And we have a new class. You'll notice that we have some other classes over here, and this is part of a series on the Java string. So if you're interested in some of the other quick code demos, you can check those out at codecram.com. For now, I'm simply going to go into the static void main method and remove the comment, and we can create a new string that we can work with to loop through. So the string that I've chosen to give it is round and round we go in a loop, which is just initialized to the string literal here, and our variable is s. So let's see the first way that we can loop through this string, and that is using the charAt method. The charAt method doesn't actually do the looping. We have to provide an index for it, so we can utilize the string length method in a for loop to get at the index of each character. I've created a classic for loop, and this for loop has been around forever. This works in C and C++. In Java, essentially all we're going to do is start at index of 0, and we're going to loop through each character until we get to the end of the length of the string, and we'll iterate the index by 1 on each loop. So now all I need to do is call the string and say charAt, pass in the index, and that will return one char at a time. But this isn't going to do anything because it's returning and we're not printing it out or doing any kind of operation on it. So I'm simply going to wrap this in a system.out, and we should see a char one at a time printed out on a line as we execute this. Okay, so there's our basic for loop, and inside of there, we're printing each character on a new line down in the console. At this point, I can go ahead and run this. I'll double click on the console tab to open this so we can see a little better. And you'll notice that it took each character of the string and printed it out on its own line. At this point, if you wanted to process each character or determine something about the string, instead of printing it out, you could initialize it to a char like this, and then you could do things like testing whether it's a digit or a special character, whether it's uppercase or lowercase, whatever you need to do as you loop through each character in the array. The second way that you can loop through the characters in a string is to convert it to a char array before you loop through it. Essentially, it's doing the exact same thing, it's just a different way of getting at the data. So the way this works is I'm going to initialize a char primitive array. I'm going to set that equal to the strings toCharArray method. And what that does is it takes every string and essentially converts it to the charAt, but puts it in a primitive char array. And once you have the char array, all you need to do is just simply loop through it and access the character. So again, I'm going to start with a basic for loop to do this. So this new for loop looks a lot like the other for loop, except for looping through the string length. We're going to loop through the character array and end at the length of that. And then inside of the loop, the way that we access the character is just by a primitive index position on the array. And I'm passing in the index I here, and that will return each character at a time. Both methods on the string class will work easy enough to loop through the characters in your string. And if you're ever in a whiteboard interview question and you need to loop through something, or you need to reverse a string or something like that, these are your basic methods that you'll want to utilize to get at each character and then do some kind of processing or algorithmic work with them. Thanks for watching this quick demo on string looping. If you would like to check out more on the Java string class and other articles and videos, be sure to check out codecram.com.